Assalamu alaikum. This is chapter 4 of learning Node.js quickly, and today we're going to learn about REST API. To do that, we first need to set up our server, and we're going to install Express and body parser. Express sets up the HTTP server, and this is how we're going to do it. Let's use body parser. Body parser parses the request body, and we're telling it to parse JSON. And now we can have it listen to this URL, and when this URL is hit, this method will be called. Let's copy this here. We don't need this anymore. All right, and this is this, and now we need to return the result. We can do that by doing this, returning everything, and let's put a status on it and return a JSON, which shall be result. And all right, so to test it, what must we first need to do this. I think we needed to pass in a port. Did we? Yeah, we need to pass in a port. Let's listen on 8080, and then there's a callback, and the callback can just log something. Okay, let's see if this works. Connected at port 8080, and to test it we need to use Postman. Let's use Postman. All right, we got our results, but there's an issue because I created the same one in our previous video, so I think we might have the same record twice. Let's check that. What was the name again? Node.js. And it was get and select from. Yep, there are two. Let's delete both of them. Okay, so this is our basic server, and let's create a proper REST API what we need to do is we need to create a folder for controller, and let's name, let's make a directory first, and then let's create a directory again, controllers, and now let's do this. All right, now actually this thing needs to be in here, so we're going to make this here. First we need to require the db. Oh, it's a relative path. Not controllers, wait, database, and we also would need nothing else. Let's create one and call it get info. Let's just call that. Request and this rec and res is actually request and response. This is a callback function, and this is actually an express callback, and it passes the request and response of the HTTP. So we use that to get our data. We can do let me just first get this in here, then I'll show you what else it can do. Now we don't need this here. All right, so what if I want to get the user information for somebody else? So this needs to be dynamic, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to get this from our URL. Let's just call it username, and we will get this from the query parameters, and here now let's pass this here. This thing that I did, it's called a string interpolation. It allows you to insert a value, a dynamic value inside a string. So this would become anything that I write here. Let's just say in username I passed this would actually become this is what the request will be made to. All right, and when we get the data, we go here and this. All right, now let's test this again. Now I need to pass a param to it, a query param, and it is called username, and let's just use it for paranoid byte for now. Oh yeah, we forgot to set up the set up in the server. All right, let's export this first. Module.export cool get info. We need to set up a root for it, and we do that. We will have to create a directory for it first. This is the standard thing to do actually. Source, and inside that roots, and now we'll create the file for it. Source roots and get.js. all right, so good. Now here we need to get express, and we can say router dot get on slash what the, now we need to call pass the callback that we have defined in the controllers. And now can say get info here, and now we need to export this router as well, and this router will be used in our index file. Well, let's just delete this. We don't need this anymore. All right, and yeah, we don't need these anymore either. And what else do we need? We need that, we need that, we need this. And now we can say app.use. Let's give it a path. Let's say get, and let's pass it our roots, source and roots and get. All right, now what will happen if I make a request to get a get request, then this thing should run. Now let's see /get in this, and let's see now. Ah, I didn't run the server. It's taking, oh yeah, there's been an error. Axios, no, Axios was left somewhere. Wait, where is it left? Oh yeah, this makes an Axios request. I forgot to require it. Wait, let me just do this. Okay, there's a problem here. We have to stop and start the server again and again, but there is one thing that we can do to make it run automatically. I think I have it in, I already have it. Actually, the package name is nodemon. If you install nodemon, you can then do this. I think I already have it installed in my global dependencies. Let me just test that. If I do, let's say this, yep, I already have it installed. So did you see it automatically restarted whenever I make some new changes and save the file? Let's run this again. What are you doing? JSON returning everything. What did you return? Yep, here it is. And now if I make a request with something else, let's just say this. Yep, this is great, right? And I think I created 2 for Paranoid Bat. Let me see. Yep. Okay, so this is we are going to address this as well. If there exists one of the same things, it should return from database and not from GitHub. Let's do that. Let's just delete everything again. Yeah. Okay, so to do that, we can do something like this. We can first query for the existing one, await db.query1, and select where this, and let's pass it username, and if it exists, then return that one. Return res dot status 200 and JSON. Let's return this, or else this will happen. So now if I do this. There's an error, I think. Yeah. A client was passed to null or undefined query. Which client? Oh, I missed a comma. My bad. Okay, now we have a record. Now we have a record for Talha, and if I query this again, we have one, and that means it returned the one it had in the database, and this is a new one, and now we have that new one. All right, that's working perfectly. Let's create one for deleting a user. Let's define one here. Let's call it delete user with an async function. Again, get it from the query. We could also get it from body. Okay, let's just get it from body actually. This is just to show you. Okay, so then get it from grid where name is this, and we pass it the username, and upon success, let's say 200 and send nothing. But on error, let's display the error and send an error message. App. All right, we need to export this, delete user, and then we need to set a root for it. Okay, and now we're going to define a root and attach all the methods on it. If there's a get on slash, then do the get info thing, and if there's a delete on slash, then do the delete user thing. And now let's test this one. This is the name, and if I do this now, localhost 8080/get, and I delete it, and in the body it's a JSON body. That's why we used the JSON body parser, so that it can parse the JSON body. Username, and let's pass it this. Now let's see what happens. Okay, it's a 200. Okay, and nothing was returned because I told not to return anything. And let's see. Yep, paranoid bad is gone. All right, now let's see. Now let's try updating a user. We can say const update user, again an async function with request and response, and we get our updates from the body. You can define what updates you want. Like, let's say I want to update, this can only update the followers and published gists. So let's do that. Public gists. All right, try catch, and let's set the error first. Status .json. let's try to set the body. Let's just do this. We can store the result in user, and we can query to update get set followers. I'll tell you what coalesce is in a bit, but for now let's just write this. Is this just the correct spelling? Yeah, this is the correct spelling. So followers this, and let's say public gists to this. Now we don't want all the records to update, right? So we're going to say where name is something. If followers is passed in the body, then send followers, else send null. And likewise for public gists. And let's get name from here as well. So what coalesce does is it's a method that checks if either of these two things is not null, and it returns that value. So if we did give it a followers, it would set it to the value that we set here, else it would just use its old value, the one that already is there. So that's why if we have followers, then we send followers, or else we send null. So this will be null and this will be a not null value. And why didn't I just do this? Because like I've told you in my previous videos, if something is not there, it's either null or undefined. So if it's not there, this will be undefined, and we do not want undefined here. We actually want null here. Coalesce takes null, not undefined, so we pass null. So if we send either of these things or both of these things, it should work. And let's return user now. Yeah, we need to explode it. Let's update followers to 13, 14. All right. Right now the followers are 11, and we are updating it to 14. And let's just say public gist are 0. And let's see. Wait. Cool. Wrong spelling. Coalesce. Let me just confirm for this. All right. So null was returned because I did not return it. Oh wait, actually let's see if this, yep, it did update. So it returned null because I didn't return anything from this query. Returning everything. Okay. Well, this time let's update public gists. Public gists And why not followers as well, just to show you. Let's say followers 11 again. So now public gists are 0 and followers are 14, and now gists are 2 and followers are 11, and we can verify this from database as well. Yep, here we go. All right, the last one we're going to make is a post request. A post request, in the post request we can manually create a user, a git user. Let's create one for it. Let's call it create user. We can get all the data from the body. Let's do this: id and followers and public gists and public repos. Say rec.body. Yeah. All right, let's set this and install the results in here. Insert into git values. We now name this followers, public gists and public repos. Is there anything else? 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 3 4 5. Yeah, okay. Return everything. And now is an id, name, followers, public gist and public repos. Send the user, export this, set the root. Oh, what was the name again? Create user. Okay. All right, let's check it now. Wait, is everything? Yeah, everything's fine. All right. All right, let's now see what happens. All right, it says it is created, and let's check here. And here we go. We have Batman with 22 public repos and all that stuff. Wow. All right, this has been great, but there's one thing I want you to know about. Delete and patch actually do not well, they do work like that, but we should not make them work like this. This should be actually like this: router dot root, or in our case it's a name, and then for delete we say delete user, and for patch we say update user. And here we do not get this from body, now we get it from params, and the param name is name, and same here. Let me just, and here name is here. All right, let's test this one more time. Let's delete a user. Let's delete the one that we created, and there's no body this time, but this, well, wrong spelling. Anyways, okay, and yep, it's gone. So this is the standard way to do these things. So this is it for today's tutorial, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, bye bye.